Okay, welcome to our December 5th Town of Neepawa Council meeting. So you've gone through the regular meeting agenda. So be it resolved that we hereby approve the regular meeting agenda for December 5th, 2023, moved by Councillor Kostenchuk, seconded by Councillor Pottinger. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And you were all sent out the minutes. So the motion reads, be it resolved that we hereby approve the minutes of the regular meeting, November 21st, 2023, as circulated. Moved by Councillor Nadeau, seconded by Councillor Sisley. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. All right, we're going to switch gears a little bit here. We have a presentation by Jane and Greg from Urban Systems, and they are going to do a presentation for active transportation plan. Go right ahead, guys.
Okay, thanks, Brian. I'll try and make sure that we speak as quickly as possible, stick to the 10 minutes, and so I apologize if I speak fast, but hopefully we can get all the information. Some of this will be repetitive for the counselors in the room, so I apologize for that, but again, we'll try and make sure that the public is aware of what we're doing. So this is what we're going to cover tonight. It's just sort of the project, what we did, what we heard, and the plan itself, and some of the recommendations. This is us, so I'm going to fly through these quick. What is active transportation? So it includes any human-powered mode of transportation. It can include walking, biking, scootering, wheelchairing, skateboarding, all the human-powered stuff. Why is it important? We know there's a myriad of health benefits. It really reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease, cancer. There's some great research on the health impacts that we build into your daily routine. Societal benefits, you get people walking and seeing each other on the street and connecting. Environmental benefits, as you can see, obviously reducing those greenhouse gas emissions and just cleaner air generally. Economic benefits, lots of study and research that shows that people walking or biking will be soliciting local businesses more. And then safety benefits, as you can see, the more or less cars we have flying around, the more people feel comfortable walking and cycling. So these are some of the key objectives, is basically helping to prioritize and guide investments and decision making in future years, and then supporting and building on those active transportation improvement projects that are already underway. Some good planning and policy context that we covered already. So identified in the Regional Recreation Master Plan as an important priority. The framework for our future also identifies as a key goal. And bylaw 3176 basically states that new development should connect to the active transportation plan. So good precedent. In the plan itself, we included vision, goals, and future directions. We talked about the first of gaps and issues, a lot about policy, programs, and initiatives, and identifying the priorities for implementation, so short, medium, and long term. This is some of what we heard in the stakeholder sessions, so a lot about strata behavior, about need for a culture shift, connecting to new facilities, making sure that the plan is age-friendly and that Neepawa is age-friendly in future years so that folks feel comfortable walking around communities and biking around. And connecting to the schools, obviously, was a big priority. And also that tourism opportunity with the great cycling facilities already have with the back 40, is how do we capitalize on that and make Neepawa a really cycling town. We did a couple pop-ups at the Chamber Fair on May 27th, and then we also did an online survey throughout the summer. A lot of what we heard was around expanding the pedestrian and cycling networks, as you can see on this one, and making sure that we are promoting and encouraging active transportation through a lot of community events. We also heard that some of the barriers towards walking and cycling were sort of the poorly maintained facilities, the lack of facilities, and poor maintenance on the roads. So that was something that we really considered for all this. And again, crossing the highway was another big conversation piece. And those gaps in the network, people really felt it challenging if they were trying to walk or bike someplace. And the network really just suddenly ended. That was a problem for them. Thoughts, we had proposed a pedestrian network that we shared with a lot of folks throughout the summer. And very good supports. The 70 responses we had, over half, 44 that were very supportive of it. And they really want us to prioritize connecting to the network overall. And support for the second network also was quite robust, as you can see, that we proposed for it all, and people just really wanted to see the network expanding. So these are some of the facilities, and my colleague Grace can take over.
Yeah, so to give an overview of some of the infrastructure that we considered and recommended in the plan, starting with I'll start with accessible shoulders. So that's just widened paved shoulders kind of along more rural highways. Then we have neighborhood bikeways or bicycle boulevards. So these are generally traffic calm local streets, generally parallel to a more major road, providing kind of that nearby access to the main street amenities, but away from the busier traffic street. Bike paths or protected bike lanes. This is curb protected infrastructure, generally away from vehicles, more separated, just providing more comfort for cyclists. And then a multi-use path, which combines pedestrians and cyclists, again, are generally away from the street, more recreational in use. On the pedestrian facility side, we included some raised crosswalks. So that's raising the level of the street to the sidewalk level such that pedestrians don't have to go down and then back up. It slows vehicles down as they go over the crossing and just highlights the crossing location for pedestrians. And then rapid rectangular flashing beacons or RRFBs. These are lit crosswalks, so they're pedestrian activated, flashing lights, tells the driver to stop and just highlights the crossing. These have been shown to reduce pedestrian collisions by up to 47% in some areas. So when planning the network, these are the principles that we used are a connected network, connecting key destinations between walking and cycling facilities, creating a comfortable network that focuses on developing an all ages and abilities network, and a complete network, such that most residents in town have a route that is nearby and is connected to the places that they want to go. So in terms of connecting, just looking at those major destinations, schools, parks, commercial areas, community facilities, and comfortable. So all age and abilities is just that. It's considering all ages and all abilities. And this graphic kind of shows the continuum from like a shoulder bikeway or painted bike lane being less comfortable to protected bike lanes and bike paths, multi-use paths being generally more comfortable. Generally, just the more separated you are from vehicles, the more comfortable people are, the safer they feel, and the more encouraged they are to get on their bike and go. For pedestrian facilities, same idea, kind of more separation from traffic, the better. Some more comfortable would be an off-street pathway or a separated sidewalk down to a walkable shoulder or a back curved sidewalk, a little less comfortable.
Great. And so this is the map of the existing sidewalk within the town of Neepawa, overlaid with the property assessment information map. And you can see that there's portions of the town that still are not connected to that pedestrian network or the sidewalks. This was the map of the trails you can see running throughout the town itself. And again, actually pretty good coverage from the trail perspective along the south end of Park Lake and along through the White Mud River Valley there. But again, there's obviously room for improvements on that one as well. This was a map that we included just in school walk sheds to demonstrate that town of Neepawa actually has fairly good coverage within that 400 to 800 meter walk shed, which is about 5 to 10 minute walk. So most students actually live within walking distance of their schools. Just some on the south end of town that is a little bit farther, but that's a really good advantage to have early on. And we include a map just of community destinations you can see. Again, that commercial core along Mountain Avenue really is a good setup to have within the town, just because there's a concentration of businesses within a small amount, a small area, and so people should be able to access them fairly easily by walking or by cycling, just the distances are shorter. This is how we develop the plan, sort of existing policy context, what we hear from the public and stakeholders, and then a technical review with our planning engineering team. And so we had a nice vision statement, so we'd like to see Neepawa become a regional leader in active transportation, and that everyone of all ages and abilities is able to enjoy walking, cycling, and rolling throughout the year, and the community is more healthy, more resilient, and more equitable. So some of the goals that we outlined in the plan itself, develop a complete network that connects all the neighborhoods, improve the safety and accessibility of road users, make sure that land use planning in the future connects to that network and prioritizes and integrates walking and cycling facilities. Make sure the network that is developed is equitable and accessible for all residents, not just those close to the downtown, and then fostering that culture for walking and cycling, so people see it as being something important. These are some of the recommended cycling network improvements. You can see expanding to the east and the west, and then also to the north and the south, making sure that people can access most of the town via bicycle on these facilities. Pretty good coverage, as you can see throughout it. Hamilton Avenue to the runs east-west, being the main east-west corridor for bikes. And then 2nd Avenue would be more of a neighborhood greenway concept running north-south. So trying to bring down vehicle speeds a little bit on a greenway concept, whereas Hamilton Avenue would be more of a separated facility. And then the yellow lines out to the east-west and north-south would be multi-use pathways for both pedestrians and cyclists. These are some of the improvements that we recommended for multi-use paths. You can see within the 1 to 2 year, 2 to 5, and 5+. And I think we're going to post this on the town website, Marilyn. Is that fair to say? Sure. As we say publicly. So it will be available once we've done some final edits. Here's the pedestrian network improvements. So again, we are just basically expanding with the existing network you can see overlaid in the middle there. To the east, the west, the north, and the south, so making sure that people that live wherever they live in town would have a sidewalk or pedestrian facility, either multi-use path or sidewalk, within close proximity, so they can plug into that network and connect to most of the town, especially the commercial core. And again, these are some of the pedestrian network improvements. As you can see, we did it sort of on a 1 to 2 years, being the short term, so Mill Street and Commerce Street. And then in the medium term would be 2 to 5 years on Howard and Stonehouse North, on Highway 16, Ryden Street, and 2nd Avenue. One thing we will add in there is looking at installing rapid rectangular flashing beacons on that Avenue at a few locations. So that's some of the early fast track pedestrian network improvements we're looking at. And then these are some of the longer term improvements. You can see along PTH5, 2nd Avenue, Vivian, 2 sections, Walker Avenue, Hamilton, Mill Street, and Tupper. And so this is what we put in as our monitoring strategy, is basically looking at walking and cycling mode share in future years, trying to make sure we capture that data. Again, this could be observational as a proportion of women, children, and seniors walking and cycling. That's a great barometer of how successful your efforts are. Funding for walking and cycling is a big indicator. And then how much staff time is being spent on active transportation projects and initiatives. And then also measuring those GHG emissions from the transportation sector and seeing if those are either static or coming down. And that is it from us. As I just put Marilyn on the spot, we will be posting the final plan online, and if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Certainly, as we were talking to you earlier, I've had the opportunity to see what kind of walking, bicycling trails and that they have in the city of Victoria. Daryl was talking about seeing the city of Boston, so it's something that we understand that we need to be moving towards, and so certainly we enjoyed the presentation. Very much appreciate you coming out and going through that with us.
Okay, thank you. We enjoyed it.
Good. All right, we'll move on to council reports. Anybody? Deputy Mayor.
For the planning board, we applied for the municipal delivery program and we were accepted. So that basically, it's a program where they're going to analyze the efficiency of our planning board. Good things that are working well already, and they will also be able to provide suggestions that may improve how we have things set up. And that is paid by the province, so it's not an additional cost to the Neepawa taxpayers or to the actual planning board itself. We just came back from AMM last week, And the one thing I'd like to mention is that our town staff and our mayor were well prepared for our ministers' meetings, and we were able to share our knowledge and some of our process with another municipality who was asking a lot of questions. And one of the big features, our CAO, Sinchishan, was able to hold them mesmerized as she explained how we are shovel ready for so many projects that when grants do come along, we're ready for them to proceed. And the active transportation study is one such study that a lot of grants are looking for, and our housing study is another one. So all these things that are making us shovel ready are providing us the opportunity to access the grant money when it does come. So compliments to our staff.
Okay, thanks, Marie. Anyone else? Councillor Sisley.
I just wanted to touch on the craft sale that Arts Forward had November 25th. It was a huge success. They had, they figure right around 800 people attend the craft sale.
Wow.
There was a lot going on in town that day, which was fabulous, and it was capped off with portable lights, which was absolutely fun, and it was just so, there's so many people out and so many floats in the parade this year, so I think it was a great day for Neepawa, so.
Excellent, thanks. Anyone else? Councillor Ponder.
I too had the opportunity to participate in the parade, which was a lot of fun, and took in 3 days of the AMM convention, which saw a lot of learning opportunities, which was really valuable. I think that sometimes we underestimate the value of even just having coffee and being able to talk to other councillors from other places and see how they do things. I attended a Yellowhead board meeting, and I was at the Santa Day at the rink just this last weekend, which was very well attended. We had 120 kits to hand out to kids to paint ornaments, and I ran out. There weren't enough for all the kids. Gave away all but one candy cane, which I put in my pocket and enjoyed on the way home. But they had pictures with Santa. The lineup was long for a while, but I think everybody got through in a timely manner. And the number of kids out on the ice, I don't often go to public skating, but there were an awful lot of people there that day, and it was very well attended, well organized, and I think everybody enjoyed it. So.
Excellent. Thank you. Anyone else? If not, just also comment that the CPKC holiday train came through yesterday, and that too was another tremendous success. A number of us were there, and it was nice to see that we had a large crowd. I have no idea how many people, but apparently we were told it was larger than a lot of the bigger communities that they've stopped at. So that was a great day yesterday. They really knew how to get the kids involved. It was a lot of fun. Okay, if there's no other reports, we move on to Manager of Operations, Denny.
Thank you. Well, luckily it's been rather quiet. We had one water incident that we went and dug the other day. Corner of Mountain Avenue and Main Street. We had an old bleed line that was inside the manhole that started leaking, so staff opted to completely dig it up and disconnect it properly, opposed to band-aiding and hiding it so that we don't have to worry about it anymore. And for council doesn't understand a bleed line, it's a water service line that was placed purposely inside a manhole so that we could have water running so it didn't freeze or sewer backup. I think 100 years ago we maybe had one house on the street, so there wasn't enough action or flow on the street, so it usually caused a little grief. Or they'd freeze because again, it wasn't as much use as there is today. So we don't seem to have a problem with sewer usage anymore, so we're making a decision to try to remove these as we find them. Other than that, staff managed to help out with the Christmas parade, get the barricades up and get them out of there. That went well. Other than that, we haven't had to do much sanding, so we're fortunate there. I extend my regrets that I was unable to attend AMM last week, but I had my own adventure where I was off to Yellowknife for an industry-related conference at no cost to the town. So it's kind of neat to see how that was up in Yellowknife. So it was really neat to see how lucky we are actually with some of our infrastructure, how easy it is to repair, work with, procure, same day arrival. That's not the case up there. We also got a great tour of the water plants. We're going to see some new technology that I haven't experienced before with gives us some ideas for industry ideas and options for construction here. So, like I said, everything's been pretty quiet. We're thumbing through budget numbers right now and getting estimates on stuff and just kind of prepping all that stuff so we can start presentations in the year for you guys.
Towers. Big break.
Towers.
I don't say anything about the towers.
Where's the rec report committee that may want to say it? Oh, hey, fine. So, along the way, the project was completed, or partially completed today. We had 2 towers erected. So the one that the Highlight Back 40 went up, and the other one at Rotary Park went up. So the public is able to go on there. I do ask that they be respectful if our contractors are still working and kind of give them a little bit of room because there's still some finishing touches to happen, but they are completely safe to go on and go and enjoy. I encourage you to go check them out. We had the opportunity to go and check both of them out today, and it was fantastic. So it's pretty exciting. I don't know if anyone's had the chance yet, but it's well worth the climb.
Yeah, excellent. All right, thanks a lot. Oh,
Yeah, so last week, we were probably out of the community at the time. We also had a major water incident up on Whitmore in Adams, correct? Where they were without water and there was a boil water advisory.
Yes, so that was a planned hookup.
Oh, it was a planned hookup?
That was a planned hookup as part of our wastewater facility. We're doing a water tie-in there.
Okay.
So precautionary boil of water. So it was whenever we drop the pressure in the neighborhood below 30 psi, at that point we have to do an advisory on boil water.
Okay. I had some comment from some people up in the neighborhood. They don't feel that the notification process was great. It was one reference was, well, we said it on Facebook, and the other one said they didn't get a door knock. So I don't know if
they all got hand delivered.
Yeah, I'm going to say there was one resident who commented they received nothing in there, and they were in that affected area. So, is that not something that we would ever look at using our town notification system on something like that?
For putting it on, we do the hand deliver to every door so that they physically get it. For the boil water to be removed, we did do the all-net emergency connect.
Well, that's great. I just make sure that we're using some of the resources we have as a community.
Some of them aren't signed up though, that's part of the trouble there, so we'll flog that, everybody sign up.
Yeah.
that's a good point.
So that's great feedback. We can look at how to better next time.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So.
Yeah, I've got a couple residents up in the area that felt they.
If you know who they are, we'll maybe just look into it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So we'll move on to our Economic Development Officer, Mallory.
Thank you. So I have an update on the housing needs and demand study and the housing strategy. If you remember, last December, we accepted a tender to do this project, and it officially commenced in April. Also in April, Canada Mortgage and Housing launched their Housing Accelerator Fund, the HAF Fund as we call it. Diane Patterson from Neepawa Planning and myself collaborated on a HAF application for the town of Neepawa with invaluable support from the consultant that we had already secured for the housing study. It delayed the creation of the housing study because the consultants were helping us with that. And we are currently awaiting results on our HAF application. The final housing study was included in your council package tonight, and it lays a strong foundation for the housing strategy, which is the next step. The housing study will have dual purposes. Internally, The data and analysis we'll use for reports and grants that we create here, and it will also serve as a benchmark for our housing growth moving forward. Externally, the report will be on the chooseneepawa.ca website, and I will share it with stakeholders and developers who are looking to better understand where the housing market is at. The housing study looks at our suitability for current and for future needs based on population projections, which you will also find in the report. And it looks at strategies that have been implemented by other communities, and so we can learn from what other communities have done. Most importantly, at this point, it provides a range of policy options that we will discuss to provide direction for the housing strategy. So the draft housing strategy will be provided to Council for review, probably late January, and the final strategy document will be available by the end of March.
Excellent. Thank you, Marilyn. Any questions of Marilyn? Seeing none, I'm presuming the study says that we might need some more housing.
Definitely, that's what it says, for sure. In many different ways, it says that.
Okay, thank you, Marilyn. We look forward to that coming out a bit more, and certainly that is going to be very important for us going into the future. All right, moving on to correspondence. Colleen.
Firstly, from the Minister of Municipal and Northern Relations, I'm honored to have been appointed as the Minister and partner with you to make life better for families across the province. So a nice little letter we received. I'm pleased to be sending this letter to advise you that our government is providing $435,875.49 in infrastructure funding to your municipality as its per capita share of the $39.9 million announcement earlier this year. This funding is available for you to help fund your priorities, including inflation that you may be facing this year. The government is, and they talked about this at AMM, considering measures that they can take to implement a multi-year funding model for municipalities that provides reliable funding for programs, infrastructure, and maintenance, and reflects the partnership between basically the provincial government and the municipal government. So this money is to be spent by the year 2026. It can be used for existing projects that are approved already that are subject to allowable staffing limits, or could be used for new projects. So we're going to take a real good look at this. We think we are going to ear tag it into the water side because of all of the things that we have going on. So this was a very, very nice announcement, and we're going to spend it.
Yeah.
We need it.
Excellent. Excellent.
The next one is from Jody Byer, the MLA for Agassiz. Getting her feet wet, of course. She's just offering up her availability to meet your council in January, February, should you wish to do that. And if you're all good, we'll invite her for a meeting.
Sure. Sounds great. Okay. Next we have finance. So you would have reviewed the accounts, the November accounts already. So the motion is, be it resolved that we approve the accounts for November 2023 totaling $5,484,552.17 as reviewed and representing checks 2023 02 267, 2023 02 421, but excluding 2023 02395 and 2023 02397. Moved by Councillor Gerard, seconded by Councillor Pottinger. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Councillor Gerard and myself will remove ourselves.
Okay, be it resolved that we approve check 2023-02395 and check 2023-02397 for November 2023 to Home Hardware Neepawa Co-op, totaling $4,509.13. Moved by Councillor Sicily, seconded by Councillor Ledoux. All those in favor? Carried.
Okay, Colleen, Town of Neepawa banking tender.
So it was, the time is right to do the official tender for our banking services. So only 3 out of the 4 financial institutions in town actually provided a tender. Comparing them all, there was 2 that were somewhat comparable, but when you actually took a look at what was being provided, the recommendation is that we proceed again with Stride Credit Union. They were the best advantage for, protecting our money. So that's our recommendation.
Okay, any questions, Colleen? If not, the motion is be it resolved that we accept the tender of Stride Credit Union to provide banking services for the period of January 1st, 2024 to December 31st of 2028. Moved by Councillor Kostenchuk, seconded by Deputy Mayor Parrott. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Beautiful Plains Community Clinic appointment. Deputy Mayor, would you like to comment on that?
We'd like to appoint Brenda Osmond as our citizens rep for the Beautiful Plains Community Medical Clinic Committee. Came highly recommended, and after touring the facility and listening to her experience and all the other organizations that she's involved with in town, we feel she's a perfect fit for the committee, and she's willing to move forward with us. So I would ask for your support.
Okay. So the resolution would be it resolved that we hereby appoint Brenda Osmond as citizen representative to the Beautiful Plains Community Medical Clinic Committee. Moved by Deputy Mayor Parrott, seconded by Councillor Gerard. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Animal control contract, Colleen.
So we tendered the animal control contract for the year 2024, and we only received 1 interested individual, that's Chad Campbell. So we're recommending that we resume, continue with Chad Campbell. The only change we made insofar as what he gets remunerated is we added $10 per nuisance for like a pigeon or a magpie, and I don't know, that was about it.
Yeah, because it didn't clarify it, so it kind of fell under the larger animal bracket, I felt. So I don't know if we want to pay the $60 every time he shoots a bird. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought. Trying to associate value that seemed fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going out for 1 nuisance bird,
Yeah.
opposed to taking an entire flock of them, make them on salary in half hour.
Yeah, good thinking. Okay, so the resolution is be it resolved that the council of town of Neepawa authorize the mayor and CAO to enter into an agreement with Chad Campbell to provide animal control services for the town of Neepawa from January 1st, 24 to December 31st of 2024. Moved by Councillor Pottinger, seconded by Councillor Sicily. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Meeting cancellation. Well, I guess that's fairly self-explanatory. Through Christmas and New Year's, there isn't a whole lot of business going on, and so we're looking at canceling the January 2nd meeting. Any questions? Okay. Be it resolved that the regular meeting of the council for January 2nd, 2024 be hereby canceled. Moved by Councillor Kostanchuk, seconded by Councillor Nadeau. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Colleen, our tree bylaw, protection bylaw again?
So the last meeting, we gave first reading to a tree protection bylaw, and we're looking for second and third reading this evening. Unless there's questions.
Yeah, any questions? I think we've all gone through it in fairly good detail. Be it resolved that the bylaw number 3226-23 being a bylaw of the town of Neepawa to protect, preserve, and retain public trees in public spaces owned or controlled by the town of Neepawa or adjacent to the town property be now read for a second time. Moved by Councillor Pottinger, seconded by Councillor Gerard. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. So third reading. Be it resolved that the bylaw number 3226-23 being a bylaw of the town of Neepawa to protect, preserve, and retain trees in the public spaces owned or controlled by the town of Neepawa or adjacent to town property be now read for the third and final time.
Recorded vote.
Recorded vote, moved by Councillor Sisley, seconded by Councillor Nadeau. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. So the bylaw open public road, first reading.
So this bylaw was created to provide a north-south road between the new recent announcement everybody heard, a new vocational school on the southwest of 34-14-15, and so between that property and the hospital. So it'll run the length of property from basically Hamilton Street that will also be built on the south side up to the edge of the top edge of both the hospital and the school property. It's about a 2-acre piece of road. So I would ask for a first reading tonight so that we can proceed and establish the parameters for the ownership for that road so that we can eventually build it and get easements and whatnot done and progress made.
I just questioned, is the bylaw a typo on my agenda? Should it be 3219-23 or 22?
So 3227-23.
3227, yes. Yeah, that's right. That was the one that opened the east-west road. So you're
okay,
right.
I have an older one.
Yeah, that was just an error. 3227.
3227 is right. Okay. Any questions on this? We've been through this.
The resolution is correct.
Okay. Be it resolved that the bylaw number 3227-23 being a bylaw of the town of Neepawa to open a municipal road in southwest 34-14-15 be now read for the first time. Moved by Deputy Mayor Parrott, seconded by Councillor Kostanchuk. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, so that concludes the regular portion of our meeting, and we will now move into in camera. And so I will call for a motion that we move into.
I don't have a revamp that. It's another business.
Yeah, at 7:40. Moved by Deputy Mayor Parrott. Seconded, Councillor Kostanchuk. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. All right, thank you.